Okay, we are back, and I have another one here. So, you call me crazy, but I have the Honor MagicBook Art 14. This is the one that everybody told me to review after doing this one, the Honor MagicBook Pro 14. And this one is really good. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. So this is the Snapdragon X Elite, the 8100 processor. This is running the Core Ultra 9 285H. So this, of course, Arrow Lake H, and this, of course, Snapdragon X Elite. There are some key differences, some similarities. Both have a 14.6-inch 3.2K display, 120 hertz. Both have touchscreen displays. Both can get as bright as 700 nits. So both are very good in that regard. This one gets really, really bright. Let me bring that up a little bit just to show you. Both have excellent coverage of the color gamut. Both are color accurate. Both have 1.5 millimeters of key travel. We'll talk about the keyboards in a little bit. One big difference though, this has a haptic touchpad. This does not. This has 6 speakers. This has 2. This has vapor chamber cooling. This does not. So there are some key differences. This has a built-in webcam right on the top there, 1080p. This one has a trick up its sleeve with a detachable 1080p camera right there. And the trick is you can put it on top right over here, little pogo pins, and then you can use it front facing, or you can go reverse and record what is in front of you. So a lot of versatility and security in that manner. And then if you are done, you just put it away, boom, stores in the side over there. So overall, a very clever solution. This comes in at 1 kilogram. This is a 1.4 kilograms, so definitely a lot heavier than this one. So overall, I really, really like this, especially for how thin and light this is. But the fact that they're able to put such powerful components in, it's pretty amazing. But it suffers one big omission that this one also does suffer from. We'll get into that in this review. Spoiler, no USB 4.0 support, no Thunderbolt or 4.0 on that one either. But decent I/O other than that. But this is a really interesting laptop that you can get in Asia. Obviously, I had to import this in from China. It's still pretty affordable, even when I brought it in. We'll get into the price and that much all coming up. But overall, the Honor MagicBook has been pretty magical. No, I'm kidding. It's been really good. In fact, it's probably one of the best laptops you probably can't buy here in the United States unless you do import it. I'll talk about that. But overall, a very good product here. We're gonna get into it and more why I think this is one of the best laptops to come out so far, late 2024, early 2025, and you don't wanna sleep on this one, that's for sure. Hey everybody, this is Andrew, and this is my review of the Honor MagicBook Art 14. Coming up. All right, let's get a measurement of the weight with just the unit alone, 1.023 kilograms, and that is 2 pounds, 4.1 ounces. So just a little bit above a kilogram, but pretty much a kilogram all said and done. And then if you add the power cord and the power charger, 1.227 kilograms, which is 2 pounds, 11.3 ounces, making this an excellent travel companion. So here's the size difference between the two. So the Pro version's on the bottom, and as you can see, the thinner MagicBook Art is on the top. So there's the difference in ports on the right side, and then here's the difference in ports on the left side. Notice that that's where the detachable camera is stored right there. All right, let's check out the port selection. On the left side is the space or the slot where the magnetic or hidden magnetic camera goes in when you're not using it, and it stays in there magnetically. Great, great solution here. We'll talk about that. And then you have 2 USB Type-C ports, 3.2 Gen 2. Unfortunately, they're not USB 4.0. They're not Thunderbolt, of course. So really a big disappointment, especially in such a high-end laptop in a lot of ways with such a superb display. They cut some corners with those USB-C ports. Now, they are full function. Now, I wish they were split up, but that is not the case. And again, they're not 4.0. Now, on the right side, you get a USB Type-A port. It's 3.2 Gen 1. You get an HDMI 2.1 TMDS port. It supports resolutions up to 4K 60. And you get a 3.5 millimeter microphone headphone combo jack to round out these ports. Now, of course, there's no SD card reader, and that is a little bit disappointing. But overall, decent port selection. The big omission, of course, USB-C 4.0 is not here. Now, one curious decision here, and I think it's a cost-cutting measure, once again, done by Honor, is the fact that they're going with UFS storage on this one. And if you know anything about UFS storage, it's not going to be as fast as other SSDs. So definitely a cost-cutting measure that I think is a little bit of a negative, although it is certainly fast enough in terms of the reads and writes for what you need this laptop to do. So very interesting. But the good news is that when you open it up, you'll notice that there is a open slot, an M.2 2280, so you can expand out the storage and put full-speed SSDs into this. And again, I like the fact that it is a 2280. Now, as far as wireless is concerned, it is soldered into the motherboard, not upgradable by the user, but we have Wi-Fi 7 here and Bluetooth combo card, and both the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth both working flawlessly. So this is the camera on the Honor MagicBook Art 14 here, and this, of course, is that detachable camera that stores inside the left side of the unit. There's a little slot for it, which clicks in. So very handy, very secure, because you don't have to worry about putting tape over the webcam. You don't need a shutter switch. This is probably the most secure solution. Now, it is a 1080p camera. It's not the greatest quality, as I will admit, but it's pretty convenient, and of course, it's going to be perfectly fine depending on what your needs are, but it does have the background blur and all that stuff, the studio effects. So here's the background blur, this is the standard blur, this is the portrait blur, here's the portrait light enabled, you have auto framing, all that stuff. You even have creative filters, this is illustrated, watercolor, animated, so everything happens pretty quickly. And of course, this is a Snapdragon Copilot Plus PC. That means you're going to have all the stuff handled by the NPU, this kind of stuff. So what do you think about it? Let me know in the comments section below. One of the benefits of it being detachable is you could use it in the reverse mode here. If I turn it around, you can get a shot of what you're looking at. Great for presentations, great if you're in a meeting and so forth. So a lot of versatility with this camera. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. And the benefit of having a detachable camera means micro thin bezels, in fact 2.2 millimeter bezels, meaning you're getting a 97% screen to body ratio. All right, let's talk about this display, the star of the show in my opinion, 14.6 inches OLED, 3:2 aspect ratio. It has a resolution of 3120 by 2080. Now, this is a pretty incredible display, I have to admit. 700 nits peak brightness when you're doing HDR, 545 nits or so in SDR, standard dynamic range. So it's very bright. It's a touchscreen display, very responsive, pinch to zoom, all that works very well. And it is pretty awesome to watch Netflix, Amazon, YouTube. Everything works really great on it. And it has excellent coverage of the color gamut. It is very color accurate. Everything you'd expect with an OLED display is there, including PWM and screen flickering. So, of course, if you are sensitive to PWM and screen flickering, it might be an issue. But, of course, I am not, but I would be remiss if I didn't point that out. And just like the MagicBook Pro 14 that I looked at, it has the same 120 hertz refresh rate. It is a variable refresh rate, so if you want to lower it down, you can, and that will get you a little bit more battery life, but keeping it at the 120 hertz gives you that really smooth, very fluid experience, and that is pretty awesome, although it will use up more battery life. Now, when it comes to performance, this is running the Snapdragon X Elite processor, the 8100. We've seen it a number of times in this channel, obviously, since it's debuted. And my general rule of thumb is if you stick to office work, Microsoft Office, email, web browsing, consuming media, Netflix, Amazon, YouTube, all the basics, for what most people do for a laptop, you will find excellent performance. Excellent single, multi-core, obviously in the synthetic benchmarks, they will be very good. Consuming media, especially with such a great display, such great speakers, this has been a dream in a lot of ways. But Of course, there are some compatibility issues with x86 apps, although some have gotten better. There's some now native ARM apps. The Google Drive app is native now. So there are some headway being made. Gaming is not the forefront on this, not the strong suit yet, although they are making some progress. We're still not there yet, so I'm anticipating more progress in that area. But you can play some games, just depends on the titles. And again, the integrated the Adreno graphics on this are not as good as the Intel Arc graphics, the 140V that we saw, 130V even. And then, of course, not as good as the Radeon graphics we saw lately. So 880M, 890M. So this, as far as a graphic solution, as when you compare it to the others, not quite there yet. But that's not why you're buying this. You're buying this for its sheer portability. It's very good battery life and very good overall performance, as long as you're sticking to the basics. Now, they do have some emulator here called Prism that works very well, but still some hit or miss. Some drivers may be hit or miss, some printer drivers maybe, but I have not had any issues. I was able to connect to my printer upstairs, but that may just be on a hit or miss basis. So I don't know. I can't really tell you what's going to work. You just have to know, do your research. But if you stick to the basics, you'll be perfectly fine with this unit. Now, thermals are very good, although I noticed a little bit of a hot spot on the keyboard there, but overall pretty good. Didn't get very loud under load either, so they kept it at bay. Now, this has a vapor chamber cooling solution used here. This one does not, so that may be a key difference between the two. So for those wondering about that, you might have some issues. As far as this is concerned, in terms of the thermals are, as they are concerned, not bad at all, actually. Pretty good. So you're getting a thin, light laptop that really is pretty efficient. And battery life, considering how high res this display is, 120 hertz, you're still getting very, very good battery life here. In fact, very impressive. So if you lower it down to the 60 hertz, you'll probably do a little bit better. But again, don't expect it to be quite as good as something like an IPS display, like we saw in the Dell Pro 14 Premium. That one, of course, or Dell Pro 14 Premium, yeah, that's what it's called. That one had amazing battery life. This one will definitely get you pretty much all day. And if you do need to charge, they do include that pretty compact power charger in the box. So that is where we are with this in terms of the efficiency and the battery life. All right, let's talk keyboard here. And like the Honor MagicBook Pro 14, you're getting 1.5 millimeters of key travel. The tactility, the overall feedback is very good. One thing that I will say is there's a nice backlight on it. Excellent keyboard. I have no complaints about that. One key difference between the two, as I mentioned earlier, this is a traditional style touchpad. This is haptic. The haptic feedback is very good. You might have to lower some of the settings. The feedback can be a little bit aggressive in the beginning, but you can control the intensity in the settings. But very good haptics on this. Really, really good overall input here in between the keyboard and the touchpad. I'm very, very happy. Now let's give it a listen to see how it sounds. Say you're in a meeting, you don't want it to be too loud. This is pretty good. Let's give it a listen. Now, when it comes to the audio, you're looking at 6 speakers here, and it has spatial audio according to their specs, and has 3 microphones, by the way, for those that need that in terms of your video conferencing. But the sound on this is very good with the 6 speakers. I'm tongue-tied here. Let's give it a listen, and you let me know what you think in the comments section below. So overall, what do I think about the Honor MagicBook 14? And I will say, I like the fact that you're getting such a high-end display. It is very bright. I like the keyboard, love the haptic touchpad, love the sleek alloy that they're using, the lightweight alloy. Love the processing power as long as you stick to the basics with the Snapdragon X Elite. It's getting better in terms of the graphics, still not there yet. But if you are pretty much just doing productivity work, consuming media, this is an excellent choice. Very good battery life, very good speakers. Again, amazing display and a very clever, innovative webcam that stores when you're not using it on the side of the unit. And you can use it in reverse mode or facing you, whatever it is. It's definitely more versatile and pretty secure. Very clever solution. I'm surprised more brands haven't thought of that sooner. Overall, an excellent laptop here. And considering I didn't pay all that much to bring it over here compared to some domestically available laptops, this might be one of the best deals out there right now. Again, with all the tariffs and everything, this might be the tariff-busting laptop here for 2025. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, we're making our push for 250,000 subscribers. We're about almost 210,000 right now. So why not hit that subscribe button if you like the content, casual viewer, doesn't cost anything, hit that subscribe button. And also, if you're gonna buy one, buy through my links, of course. They are affiliate links, I get a small commission. That, of course, helps support the channel. So until next time, this is Andrew, and I'll see you in the next video.